Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the 11th Hour Gaming Channel. I am AJ Gels. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is my weekly news show, the 11th Hour, which, if you don't know, is basically kind of a wrap-up of everything gaming news for that week. And by the way, this goes live every Friday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Guys, it's finally here. It is finally springtime. That means I can break out my Hawaiian shirts again. Yeah, I can look all stupid. Got a nice little birthday gift for my girlfriend. Yeah, big fan of The Witcher, so she got me the wolf pendant. Really digging it. Yeah, wow, this intro feels really weird. I don't have a whole hell of a lot to say, or a lot of housekeeping stuff to kind of get into before we really kind of pick up into the news. Except for one thing, though. This upcoming week, today is my last day here at school. I'm heading up north back home for about a week. I'm on spring break. Hopefully I'll get to play some golf. I'll be able to, yeah, I know I sound like an old man. I'll play some golf. I'll probably be playing a bunch of The Division on another profile. Or in another character, so it's not interfering with the Let's Play series. But because I'll be at home, and I won't be bringing my PC home, I will not be doing any Let's Plays for next week. I believe that goes March 12th to the 19th. I will not be putting any Let's Plays up, but on March 18th, my weekly show, this show, will still go live at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, so, don't worry about that. It's just you won't see any new Let's Plays until March 20th, when I will be, that's the day I'll be starting Hitman. Granted, that game came out today, but, I'm just like, I'm not going to be here all day. I'm leaving I'm probably leaving around 4 or 5 o'clock, so, it's how it is. So I probably won't be, so I'll be starting Hitman when I get back home. Really excited for that. Other than that, guys, I think that's about it. Just, sit back and enjoy this. Remember, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, my website down in the description below. If you ever need to get a hold of me, you can always do that through the comments. If you want to give me some sort of feedback on the channel, how I can improve it, that kind of stuff. Or hell, you just want to talk to me, have some sort of weird conversation. Always happy to do that with you guys. I love talking with you guys about video games and just random bullshit. That's always fun. Other than that, if you enjoy this video, I want to help support and continue kind of the kind of further this brand of this channel. Please don't be shy. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Spread the word to your friends. Get more. Help out by getting more views and more subscriptions, more likes. All that stuff helps spread the word and all that good stuff. Anything else? No, I think that's about it, guys. All right, sit back, enjoy. We're gonna start off. I'm just pop right into the news here. For any of you guys out there, as sports fans, I say I'm a sports fan. I like sports and whatnot, especially combat sports. You put gloves on, you have two people get in a ring and beat the piss out of each other. I'll probably watch it. I also like pro wrestling. Either way, apparently the cover stars for EA Sports UFC 2, Ronda Rousey and Conor McGregor, have both gone 0-2 in their last two fights. I didn't notice this till I read this article by ONS Good over at Polygon. This is fairly interesting because this brings the whole idea of the cover curse. And it's like every time EA put what was it? It's the guy on the cover of NCAA games back when those existed. God, I want those to come back. Either way, the guys on the cover of Madden and the NHL games, all this, they always, they like, yeah, they had a great year. They're putting them on the cover. The next year, they sucked. Which, I don't know, is really unfortunate because I still consider Ronda Rousey to be one of the best mixed martial artists, male or female, in the game today. Hopefully, both of them will bounce back and continue to have great careers. Moving on. The next bunch of this, we got a lot of news on video game movie adaptations. Adaptations? Adaptations. I think that's the correct one. This is really interesting, because we really, there's not been a lot of really good movie. I don't think I'm gonna go on a limb. I'm just gonna say there's been no good movie adaptations for a video game. I do have hopes for the Ratchet and Clank movie, but that's not gonna be live action. That's gonna be animated. So I hope that's gonna be good because I really like the Ratchet and Clank IP. Either way, we all know that the Assassin's Creed movie right now is it has finished filming. I think that's coming out later this year. Michael Fassbender being the main character. Apparently, the movie's taking big inspirations off of The Matrix, which I really hope that does well. The Assassin's Creed franchise is one that's really near and dear to my heart, and I really hope this movie does it justice. But apparently, the Assassin's Creed not Assassin's Creed the Assassin's Creed movie already has a sequel in the works. It has been greenlit. It's already been working on it. Michael Fassbender, it will also star this one. He's already on board. Everything's copacetic. I'm getting this article by Alex Osborne over at IGN. Again, I really hope the first one does really well, that they can really kind of put some cool budget into the second one. But I guess also in in video game movies, apparently there's a new Tomb Raider adaptation. That's the one. That's the one. A new Tomb Raider adaptation in the works. Kind of a reboot of the old series. What is it? Angelina Jolie? Because I think those kind of wrote off the what the old games did, where she just wore the stupid short shorts and she made no sense. Those movies were garbage. Hopefully this one will be a lot better. Apparently this one is going to be inspired more by the new game franchise by by Crystal Dynamics. What the f*** is wrong with me today? I got that article by Max Nicholson at IGN. This next, another IGN article by Nicole Carpenter also brought this up. Now, I'm actually kind of for this. This really interests me. That Daisy Ridley may play Lara Croft in this. This hasn't been set in stone. She's up for the role. Many know Daisy Ridley as playing Rey from the Star Wars Episode 7. There's only one thing that I really hope she doesn't do, and that's I keep saying this, and people keep looking at me like I'm on drugs. And I'm like, if you remember that scene on Jakku when she's running, when her, Finn, and BB-8, they're running away from getting shot at. She's running I can't even do it. She's gritting her teeth and her mouth's wide open. Her lips are so far apart, so it's literally she's just sneering. And I'm just it's such a weird look. I don't know. It bugged me. Yeah. This last one, though, this one's weird to me. This adaptation, I don't know why this is being made. A Thief adaptation. If anybody remembers Thief, I think 2 years ago that game came out. It was a reboot of the old series. Either way, that one doesn't make sense to me. I got that from a article by Michael Martin over at IGN. I really don't know what to expect out of that. That's a little weird to me. This next one. Go check out another video I did. I think it should be if you're watching this in the playlist of my gaming news. I did kind of a small news break earlier in the week. I have a small 5-minute video on this. Apparently, recently a new trademark has gone up for Alan Wake Return. At first, we didn't know what this is. Unfortunately, fans of the Alan Wake franchise, Remedy Entertainment has come out and officially said it is not an Alan Wake sequel. For the love of God, make the Alan Wake sequel. I want that game. I loved Alan Wake. I'm serious. Okay, skip ahead 3 minutes because if you haven't played the end of Alan Wake and you don't want to hear this, so spoil warnings at the very end of the game. I mean, that final scene was probably one of my favorite ending scenes in video games. His wife coming out of the lake. Once again, I'm sorry, spoilers. Just skip ahead. Don't pay attention to me. His wife coming out of the lake, kind of looking around and just, Alan? And just the tone of her voice, and that was just so perfect. There's confusion. It was just great. Cut the black. I mean, it was a great ending to that game. But I want the sequel to happen. I want Alan Wake 2. I get this article by Matt Porter over at IGN. But here's the big question, though. What is Alan Wake Return now? Personally, I'm going to put money on it's a book, being that Return was the name of Alan Wake's manuscript in the standalone expansion to Alan Wake American Nightmare. But who the hell knows? It could be a movie. It could be who knows? All we know is it's not a book, or it's not a game. And there's also going to be a live trailer for it in somewhere in Quantum Break. So you can keep your eyes out when you're playing Quantum Break. And I guess speaking of Alan Wake and Quantum Break, that's right, that's funny. Apparently, Quantum Break originally started as Alan Wake 2. Apparently, they went in and pitched Alan Wake 2, with and it would have kind of like these live action elements that Quantum Break's had, and they kind of decided, well, let's go bigger with this, and out popped Quantum Break. Very excited for Quantum Break. Really looking forward to see what's going to happen with that game. I think that's next month. That's in April, right? Yeah, that's in April. Really excited for it. Moving on to a game I've been really excited about recently, The Division. Fantastic job by Ubisoft. Made a very good New York. Other than, I think, some server problems that have been happening. I haven't experienced them, but it's probably just when I'm not playing it. But still, very excited about this game. Loving it. Fantastic. If you haven't gone out and bought in yet, buy in. At least the $60 just to get the main game. If not, I would definitely suggest the full... I bought the $100 edition, so I'm getting all the expansions and whatnot. Also play on Xbox One, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But apparently... Well, actually, I'll talk about that right now. I thought these were in the in reverse direction. This article coming from Michael Pasalacqua at IGN. I love saying that name. Apparently, the Division expansions are coming to Xbox One first. This is a pseudo kind of exclusivity deal that Ubisoft is having with Microsoft. So all your expansions will come out, kind of like a small timed delay on Xbox One first. We currently do not know the duration. I'm going to assume it's anywhere from a couple weeks to a month, but I could be wrong. Apparently, and this is with the first expansion, Underground, coming in June. Survival, the second one, later in the summer, and Last Stand sometime in the winter. You can keep your eyes out for that. Also in Division news, this article actually being written by Damon Hatfield, the one of the hosts of IGN's Game Scoop. So yes, also this article came from IGN. Apparently, the Division has set the highest day one sales record in Ubisoft history. I believe that's about 30-some years of history. So the Division currently is making bank. I mean, I'm really hopeful for this game, and I really hope this game turns out to be. I really hope it beats out Destiny. I mean, this game is so much set up for me more than Destiny was. I like third-person shooters more. It's more of an RPG. I like the story so far. It's kind of gripped. I mean, it hasn't gripped me yet. Like, it hasn't kind of gotten that emotional connection and made me care about these characters so much. But I am interested in the world and seeing what's happening and what caused all this. So I'm really interested in the Division right now. Here's hoping that Ubisoft's The Division will continue to do great work. I guess, into next year, because expansions are running at least all the way through this year. We have new news on Gears of War 4. Apparently, in some video out there, I think one of the developers answered 105 questions within 5 minutes for Gears. And this article by Eddie McCutch over at GameSpot. This one's a little interesting to me. We kind of have how the specs will run on Xbox One. Oh, and apparently I believe a PC version of this game has been teased. I'm not sure yet if Gears of War 4 will appear on PC yet or not. But apparently Gears of War 4 will run at 1080p at 30 frames per second for the campaign. So, the campaign will run at 1080p, 30 FPS, but the multiplayer will run 1080p at 60 frames per second, so 60 FPS. I think this is they're trying to get the campaign to kind of they're trying to literally rip out I think they're trying to push the Xbox One to what they can at the moment. I'm all for this. I'm a huge Gears of War fan. Go check out my first video. I played the Gears of War Ultimate Edition. And I definitely plan before Gears of War 4 comes out to play the other 3 games, 2, 3, and Judgment. I love Gears of War. It was really... That game got me into, I think, third-person shooters the way Assassin's Creed really got me into video games. Because I'm trying to think. I think Gears of War came out first. I have to check the dates. I can't remember. But AC was what really got me into gaming. I've always been a gamer, but AC really got me into gaming where I am today. just like a true love of the industry and seeing it as an art form. Well, Gears of War 1, just like that was a game that was it's just technically great. It almost completely redesigned the idea of what a third-person shooter was or is. Because most third-person cover-based shooters use the Gears of War kind of model for its control scheme. So I'm very excited to see the sequel and this upcoming Gears of War game. This next article by Mitch Dyer at IGN kind of continues on some Gears of War 4 news. Apparently, Gears 4 will star JD Phoenix, the son of Marcus Phoenix, the main character from the first 3 games, and will take place 25 years after Gears of War 3. So we'll see what's going on in this. If you want to check out this full write-up, this is kind of coming off of a write-up that went into Game Informer's April edition. So go check that out if you want to read the full article on this, not just kind of like these highlights that I'm bringing up. But apparently there will be 3 playable characters. There will be JD Phoenix, Kate Diaz, or Kait. I think that's Kate. I'm not sure. Kate Diaz and Delmont Walker. Apparently, Del or Delmont and JD were apparently involved in some sort of classified incident that we spend the course of Gears 4 kind of figuring out and learning about what's going on. Apparently, the game will also feature new gameplay systems such as close cover melee. I have no idea what the hell that's going. I think that might be hopefully it's like you're using like the Lancer like over cover. It's like you can kind of stay in cover but still like chainsaw people. But I don't know. And apparently savage windstorms that are apparently going across Sarah being the planet, if you aren't so caught up on Gears lore. And by this kind of windstorm, I'm going to guess this is going to be kind of like Razor Hail, my guess, but I don't know. And apparently the game will also feature 2-player couch co-op. That's a really kind of a throwback to, that's what made Gears of War 1 for me, because I didn't play it solo the first time. I played it, couch co-op with a buddy. I still remember I stayed over at a friend's house for an entire weekend. I think sometime in high school, me and him, we literally just spent all Friday, Saturday, and a part of Sunday literally just playing through Gears of, and I think it was right around the time of Gears 3 came out. So we were playing Gears of War 1, 2, and 3 just consecutively. I think we were I'm trying to think, I think we cut the sound of the game and we blasted Disturbed or some shit like that. God, I love that music. I still do like that. I still do like Disturbed, I'm not gonna lie. But we blasted that shit and just played Gears of War for an entire weekend. It was fucking awesome. It was one of my favorite weekends of my life. We also did that a lot with Left 4 Dead. We play a lot of Disturbed and play that game. Man, it's a walk down memory lane right there. But yeah, I'm very excited for Gears of War 4. I'm trying to think. I think that's coming out this fall, along with I believe Halo Wars 2, another game I'm very excited coming out. This year seems like a really good year for Microsoft. I'm not gonna lie. I think Microsoft's really gonna get some good sales. Even though actually I believe PlayStation 4 outsold Xbox One this February. Yeah, February PS4 outsold Microsoft One. Or no, Xbox One. Not my fuck. Either way, I'm sort of reading this next story. Apparently, Microsoft has canceled Fable Legends and Project Knoxville. Apparently, general manager of Microsoft Studios Europe, Hanno Lemke, I hope that's how that's pronounced, apparently has said, and I quote, "After much consideration, we have decided to cease development on Fable Legends and are in discussions with employees about the proposed closure of Lionhead Studios in the UK. Additionally, we will close Press Play Studios in Denmark and sunset development on Project Knoxville." Microsoft also later issued a statement to IGN saying, "We aren't sharing additional details today beyond that which we have seen." I'm sorry. Let me start this quote over, and I quote, and this is a Microsoft statement, and I quote, "We aren't sharing additional details today beyond that we have ceased development in Fable Legends and are in discussions with employees at Lionhead about our proposed closure of the studio as well." Article by Wesley Copeland at IGN. Um, I think that's good. At least it works with it, with the people who, I kind of guess, are losing their jobs because of this. And I hope these people do very well. I really like the Fable series. I think Fable Legends was a weird choice, just like that weird Kinect game that came out for Fable. I think they should have just made Fable 4, continued making Fable great. I really liked Fables. Fables 2 and 3 I liked. 1 was a little hinky for me. I don't know, I couldn't really get into it. But I really liked 2 and 3. 3 being my favorite. Oh, 3 was good. Anyway, but also moving on, apparently the Fable Legends beta will stay open until April 13th. This is for those who already have access to the closed beta, and no new players will be added during this time. That coming from an article by Nicole Carpenter over at IGN. This is interesting. This is I got this from an article by Timur Hussein over at GameSpot. Apparently, the publisher Take-Two Interactive, we probably know them for, they do a lot of stuff with Rockstar, publishing, Gears of War, Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead, all those kind of games. Apparently, they want to avoid a product fatigue that comes from, and I quote, milking a property, kind of like how AC annualizes franchise. This is basically why they don't annualize franchises, other than, for non-sports titles. Sports titles, you kind of have to annualize, but I think that's good, except at the same time, I want a new Red Dead Redemption. I mean, make Red Dead Redemption. Well, technically, Red Dead Redemption was a sequel because it was the sequel of Red Dead Revolver, but I know very few people who know of Red Dead Revolver. Yeah, if you didn't know, that Red Dead Redemption is technically a sequel. I believe it's the same main character. I believe it was John Marston was also the main character of Red Dead Revolver. Yeah, I think Red Dead Revolver was also an OG Xbox game. But yeah, I really want Red Dead Redemption 2. I really want that game made. Apparently, Sniper 4 Elite Italia is being released this year. This article coming from Nicole Carpenter over at IGN. This is interesting to me. I really kind of like these Sniper Elite games. I played Sniper Elite 3 on PS4. That was a lot of fun. I kind of like that X-ray mode. You shoot them in the organs and whatnot. It's really interesting. Like you didn't have silent sniper rifles, but if there's like audible sounds that cover your gunshot. I don't know. It had a really interesting idea and kind of a stealth mechanic to it. I don't know. I mean, what was it? There's another sniper. I think there's like Sniper Warrior 3. Another kind of open world sniper game that's being released soonish that really has my interest. That isn't this. I didn't know about this game, but yeah, I'm very excited to see what another Sniper Elite game's gonna be. This article by Wesley Copeland over at IGN. Apparently, the disc version of Hitman is not coming late 2016 like we originally thought. It has apparently been pushed into January of 2017. This is basically so the dev can focus, and this is from a statement that they issued, and I quote, so they can focus on, and I quote, delivering the best episodic experience for Hitman, and that takes us to autumn/fall. Like I said, that article by Wesley Copeland at IGN, that's a little weird to me. I still don't understand their decision to go episodic with this game. I mean, although everything I'm hearing about it, it's great. From what I saw of people playing the beta, other Let's Players, go check out the Rad Brad. I'm sure he's playing the game. He also played the beta. It was really interesting. I don't know. People have described it, and I, from what I've seen, I have to agree. It seems like a perfect mix between the previous game, Hitman Absolution, and Hitman Blood Money. So I'm very excited to get my hands on this next Sunday. I really wish I could play it today, but I just, like I said earlier, just don't have the time, guys. I'm really sad. But yeah, I don't know. It seems weird that they'd release this game episodically. Yet the same way, the way that they're doing it kind of makes sense. I don't know. It still seems weird to me. Either way. Moving on. CD Projekt Red will apparently release and I quote, a new type of video game format previously unexplored by the studio this year. So apparently we're getting a new game by CD Projekt Red that isn't The Witcher or Cyberpunk 2077, but it's a new game and apparently a new format. This could be a few things. This could be maybe a VR title. This could be, who the hell knows what this could be. This could be maybe just not an RPG. I'm not sure, although I'm sure, being CD Projekt Red, they'll do a fantastic job. Apparently, this game will drop, from what I've understood from this article, by the way, by Joe Screbbles of IGN. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. This game, from what I've understood, will drop somewhere between The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine expansion and Cyberpunk 2077 coming out next year. And the Blood and Wine expansion coming out sometime in 2016. Yeah. This article by Allegra Frank over at Polygon. Apparently, Cameron Harris, editor of Mass Effect Andromeda, has left BioWare. Sorry. This is the second member of the Andromeda team to leave in the past 2 months, and the third writer to leave overall. Third writer to leave since January. What the fuck, guys? What? I keep saying this every time I report on one of these. Stop leaving! Or at least tell me that you're done with your part of the game. And why are you leaving when it's coming out next year? I'm sorry. I love Mass Effect. I still remember back when I was in high school. I think I was a high school sophomore when the first one came out. Was I high school sophomore? I was probably a middle school student. Fuck, I don't know. It's weird seeing me trying to reminisce. Like, I remember back when, I'm from northwestern Indiana, so, I'm really close to Chicago, so, I get most of my news from Fox. So, but, I'm watching them throw a fit about the sex scene that was in Mass Effect, and to my adolescent brain, I'm like, sex in this? Holy best game ever! And I think I had just gotten it for my birthday, so I'm sitting there going, "There's sex in this game? That's happening? Oh fuck yeah!" So my idiot teenage self, and then I remember getting to that scene in the game, going, "This is what people are complaining." What the? Really? See, worse than that in porn? I don't know that. That still bugs me to this day. It's still pretty funny. But still, guys, stop leaving the fucking company. Just release the game. Either way, this article coming from Matt Porter at IGN. Apparently, the Doom closed beta release date has been, the beta dates have been announced. The beta will run from March 31st. To April 3rd. And this basically means that if you have pre-ordered Wolfenstein the New Order, you can, I'm assuming soon, redeem your beta key for the new Doom beta. Like I said, that article from Matt Porter at IGN. Getting into the home stretch here, guys. Apparently, Sumo Digital, the Little Big Planet 3 developer, is taking over development for Dead Island 2. This is interesting. I mean, we've been hearing about Dead Island 2 for a long while, and we're also hearing some stuff about a Dead Island Collection and Dead Island Retro Revenge or something like that. That's, I don't know. I mean, I think maybe this will get this game out quicker. I don't know. I'm very lukewarm on the earlier two. Dead Island Riptide. I'm very lukewarm on them, so I don't know. I'll probably give it a shot. Probably play it here on the channel. That article by Vicky Blake over at IGN. The final news story, and this one really interests me. In a way, I mean, I'm not a guy who uses Amazon that often. If I'm gonna go out and buy something, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna support GameStop, and I'm gonna go buy a, at my local store. But apparently, this might actually get me an account with Amazon, but not the way you'd think. Apparently, Amazon Japan will now ship games internationally. This is basically making it easier to import games from Japan. Basically, meaning the only kind of additional fee that we're looking at for Amazon Japan is basically long distance shipping, because other sites, I think it was Play America, something like that. There's other importers that I think they have. It's at $10 extra charges and then delivery and this and that, blah, 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 blah. Other than long distance shipping, this is, that's the only additional fee to the game itself. Apparently, although, kind of like a small little caveat, a little detail about this, though, is that you have to have a separate account for Amazon Japan. So basically, your English Prime membership will not carry over. Basically, and like I said, but this also gets us much easier access to games that either won't release in the US or the West, or are altered for Western release, such as Dead or Alive Extreme 3 and Fire Emblem Fates. Fire Emblem Fates having a chunk of the game being ripped out due to, I don't know, it had something to do with, like, there's a part with a character who, as far as I've understood it, there's a part with a character who's like genderly confused or something. I'm trying to think what the exact term for that is. But you know, like they're the wrong that they're the wrong gender, and then there's like they take a potion or something and it changes their gender, and it's a big, I don't know. Apparently there was like some big stink about it because it's like it's like those pray away the gay camps, or you know, those like it's like it's forced conversion or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. It's to me. I keep saying it's a video game. People, get over it. You know, I mean, doing that to people in real life, yeah, it's messed up. But I mean, it's a video game. Calm down. And I don't know. You've probably heard me talk about DOA Extreme 3 before on this on this show. If you haven't, my long and short of it, I think it's crap. I don't know. I still question whether or not this whole thing about them not releasing it for fear of feminist backlash is necessarily true. I think this might be kind of a way to drum up publicity of the game because, you know, we're all talking about it, but at the same time, where you're getting Western audiences to talk about it and go, well, we'll buy it, but we're not going to release it to the West. Yet we're going to put an English version in the game. So, you know, like, this game will feature an English version. As far as I've understood, it will. But you can't buy it on, like me here. Like, I go on my PS4, I go into the store, I can't buy it over here. Yet I can get it shipped to me from Japan and still play it because these games aren't region locked, because the PS4 isn't region locked. So I can still play it, but I have to buy a Japanese game and then switch it to English. But you get what I'm saying? This is a really weird decision. I don't know. This seems like a very roundabout way of marketing. That, you know, it's like you have to jump through all, you know, it's like jumping through all these hoops. I'm like, well, how much money are you really saving for that? I don't know. I don't know. I just still think this game should have just come out in the West, and I don't think there would have been anywhere near. I don't think there would be any, I don't think there would be much, if any, backlash against this game. I mean, there would be the typical attacks from the radicals, but they attack everything. Yeah, I don't know. Although I do remember, I kept reading in a lot of articles about DOA Extreme 3, and a lot of people are coming out saying, and a lot of people, they're women coming out and saying, there's no feminist army coming out to attack all this. And I sit here and go, I disagree. Like, there is a feminist army attacking. But, you know, like, listen to me fully. I believe there is a feminist army, but I don't think it's of rational, equality-seeking feminists. I think it's the fringe radical groups, you know, Sarkeesian, you know, these kind of people who are pushing for not equality, because really, you listen to them. What they're pushing for is basically, if considering now, and yes, I will agree, it is unfair that, you know, money and all this, you know, there's a pay gap, and you know, I agree, there is this stuff, and it's wrong. If men are here and women are here, what this group wants is this. You know, they want men here and women here. I think these people who are saying there's no feminist army and there's no, you know, I'm like, all the people who are saying that, I think what they want, like me, is this, where we're on the same level. And I believe this for everything: race, gender, sexual orientation. I don't give a shit. You know, you can be, you know what I mean. I don't care what your race, your orientation, your gender is. I don't care. If you can do a job, I'll hire you to do the job. I don't give a shit. You know, and when I say I don't give a shit, people rip on me, and I'm just like, because it doesn't matter to me. It's a descriptive word. Who cares? I'm sorry, I got a little preachy there. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I just kind of want to get DOA Extreme 3 just to get the game. I'll probably, for 15 minutes, go, this is garbage, and then not touch it again. But I don't know, I might actually import that. I also might import the Fire Emblem Fates, even though I never played a Fire Emblem game. Otherwise, guys, that's it for the news today. This has been a lot of fun. I love doing this show for you guys every week. And by every week, I mean every Friday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Please tune in next week for episode... I think next week's episode 24. I think this was episode 23. I could be wrong. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But seriously, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like I said earlier, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, my website down in the description below. Leave me a comment if you want to help support the channel. And if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel and tell your friends about this. All that good stuff, like I said, every week, Friday, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. And other than that, guys, like I also said earlier, I'm going to say this one more time just so it's very clear. Do not expect any Let's Plays from me over the next week, just because, like I said, I'll be at home and away from my PC. Definitely expect me to hit the ground running March 20th with playing Hitman. Other than that, guys, I think that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm AJ Gels, and this is the 11th Hour Gaming Channel. I'm out.